All right, welcome everybody. As you're coming in, just make sure to have your mute button on just so we don't hear too many background noises. And if you can turn on your video, we always love to see your faces, but I realize it's not always possible, so that's fine too if you can't. We'll give it another minute or so before we start. Thanks. Get started. So welcome to the Humanities and Social Science webinar. We'll start by introducing ourselves first. My name is Vanessa Rodriguez, and I am the Assistant Dean for Student Support and Success at the Tulane School of Professional Advancement. That means it's my team's responsibility to make sure that our students are supported and have all the resources they need, strictly outside of the academic classroom, to make sure we see y'all completing your educational goals. And I will let Dalila introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Dalila Ahmedabashich. I'm the program director for Humanities and Social Sciences programs. So I will work with you on your major courses as you're trying to figure out what classes you might need to take. As well as if you're a graduate student, I can also advise you in your graduate course selection as well. I also teach courses in the MLA program, as well as the undergraduate capstone courses. And I also serve as the prior learning assessment coordinator. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me as well.
Great, thank you so much. All right, do we have Professor Avester here?
I don't think she's here.
All right, well, Professor Lucarilla.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Lauren Lucarilla. I'm a senior professor of practice, so I teach and design courses in humanities and social sciences and also in the teacher prep and certification program. So I, in addition to teaching, spend a lot of time thinking about what is useful in the world, what would be meaningful to all of you in terms of education, what would make an impact, what would be interesting, that kind of thing.
Thank you. All right, and Dan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dan Ray, and I am a senior academic advisor at the School of Professional Advancement. I work with undergraduate students majoring in humanities and the social sciences, among others. And so if you are interested in, coming into our school for one of those programs, then I would be your academic advisor and point of contact, go-to person, all academic related matters, from the start of your undergraduate career to getting your transcripts evaluated if you attended prior colleges or anything like that, and helping you, assisting you along the way with course registrations, with just about everything outside of the financial aid aspect of things. And so, that's what I'll be here for you guys. And yeah, just welcome again, and look forward to having you.
Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get to the meat of things. So just to tell y'all a little bit about Sopa, just in case you don't know. So, Tulane has been around for quite some time, since the kind of early mid 1800s, and it was originally a medical college. But what a lot of people don't know is that Sopa, the earlier incarnations of Sopa, were actually existed just about 50 years after Tulane was created. So we have over 130-year commitment to adult learning, and we're very proud of that at Tulane. All right, so why Sopa? We know there's a lot of different programs out there. We're going to talk a little bit about what we think are our benefits to going to our school. First of all, we have incredible depth online. This is something that we've been doing for quite some time now. I know that a lot of colleges and universities, because of the pandemic, have developed more robust online programming, but we've been doing this for over a decade, and we even have our own in-house instructional designers And I really didn't even know what that meant until a few years ago, until I got into this position. But that means that there are people whose job it is to make sure that they help faculty and staff turn their academic content into really, really engaging and impactful online programming. So it's not your old kind of, watch a video online kind of correspondence course thing. It's really, really engaging. We have incredible programs and faculty. Our programs are designed to support the business community and the communities primarily around the New Orleans area for this program, but all over the nation. We work with businesses to see where the needs are, and we hope to fulfill those needs with our students' training. Also, our faculty, many of them are adjunct faculty. And so during the day, they are leaders in their field. And then by night, they come and teach you things. And so you can learn things that they just kind of created the night before. You really get that in real time kind of benefit of learning what's on the cutting edge of your different fields. Additionally, we have a really robust student support section. That's the section that my team kind of inhabits. Like Dan said, the main ally that you're going to have in this is your academic advisor. I call him your academic BFF. And in addition to that, we have career advising, and we have student resources and support services that can help people who are going through difficult times as well and may need a little extra support. Finally, getting to the end, our school, part of our mission is really to make a high quality education accessible to anybody who is qualified. So some of the manners in which we do that are to maintain affordability. Our classes in comparison to classes from other universities of equal ranking are significantly less expensive. And even in comparison to other colleges and universities in our local areas, when you take into account the fees and whatnot that we keep super low, we are quite competitive with them and actually less expensive than most of them. Additionally, we have the flexibility of having classes that are online and in person. Our in-person classes, some of them take place during the daytime hours, some of them during the nighttime hours to accommodate those who have daytime work schedules or nighttime work schedules. And then our online classes are made in such a way that you can do them usually at your own time and according to your own schedule with a few in-person meetings. And that way, everybody who wishes to participate in these programs can. Finally, we're part of Tulane. We're proud to be. We're a top-ranked research institution, and there's definitely some benefit to having a degree from an institution such as Tulane that is instantly recognizable across the globe. All right, so delving in a little bit more to online learning. So with online learning, you will be able to access materials and assignments at any time. I don't know about you guys, but I am a working mom. So, and I went to law school while I was, pregnant, and I had a child already. So I understand that, being able to kind of take that time at night when your kids are asleep to do your homework, that's really invaluable. So all of that information is located on something that we call Canvas, which is our online platform. Like I said, they're really informative and engaging. There's lots of video, lots of simulations. In addition, you will not be just kind of alone in the manner in which you access this. There are discussion boards, and you'll be able to collaborate with classmates oftentimes, in addition to the at least monthly online meetings that you'll have with professors and guest speakers and classmates. The added benefit of having an online program is that you're not just limited to people who are living in your geographical area. Online learning, we have a lot of folks that come to us from outside the greater New Orleans area, from all around the US, and even internationally. We have some folks who are deployed on missions across the world. So it's really interesting that you get the knowledge and the insight and the input of folks from around the world that you may not get access to otherwise. All right, so I was talking about how we've been doing this for a while. So last year we had almost 1,400 students do some online work, and it was about over 12,000 hours of coursework. That's significant. We also have 8 master's degrees, 11 graduate certificates, some post-bac certificates that are all designed specifically to be online, not just as a kind of side thought, but they were designed specifically for that. So overall, at the time this was written, I think we probably have even more than that now, but 320 courses are all developed to do that. Now, the way in which we make sure that these courses are top notch is that not only do we have those instructional designers, but those instructional designers train our faculty to be effective online instructors. They've won multiple awards from this, and as of the beginning of this year, over 200 faculty have been trained in this, and I'm sure there's even more now. All right, so I will hand it over to Professor Omar Bashish to talk about specifically humanities and social sciences.
Thanks so much. So today we're talking about the Humanities and Social Sciences programs. And we have both undergraduate programs and graduate programs, but they all are very interdisciplinary. So in these programs, you would study social relationships, practices, and structures, but in the process, you would also strengthen your critical thinking, communication, and writing skills. So you're both building your content knowledge, but also developing really important skills that will be useful following graduation. Next slide. And the faculty that teach in our programs are truly amazing. I think this is one of the reasons why our courses are so strong and why our programs are so strong. We have both adjunct faculty who, as Vanessa mentioned, work in the field. So for example, Melinda Nelson-Hurst is an anthropologist, and she studies Egypt. She's an Egyptologist. And she's a research associate both at Tulane and has an affiliation with the University of Pennsylvania, where she studies everything related to Egypt. And she is an amazing instructor, along with Bo Boudreau, who is professionally a poet and a writer, and also teaches our writing courses and teaches courses in poetry. So he's able to bridge that personal experience, professional experience with his teaching. Professor Kaczynski is a professor in the English department, and he has just recently won a couple of awards for teaching at Sopa. And he's been teaching for us for at least a decade, if not more. And then we also have full-time faculty who teach in the Humanities and Social Sciences full-time, and we have 2 of them with us today, Professor Lucarilla and Professor Ivester. So I will invite them to share a little bit about the courses that they're currently teaching and designing to teach in the future. So Professor Lucarilla, if you could share a little bit about the courses that you're working on right now, and then pass it over to Dr. Ivester.
Thank you, Dalila. Okay, so a couple of the courses I'm working on designing right now are, and I'm working in conjunction with Dalila, are capstone. Okay, so we have a capstone course for those who have a humanities or social sciences, either one. And so this capstone course is pretty exciting because the idea is to bring together all that you've learned and like give you a moment to reflect and assess on what you need to further develop and what interest you want to pursue as you make that final step beyond graduation into either making a career change or moving ahead in the career you have, or whatever it is that you plan to do. And so it's an exciting course to develop because we're putting a lot of really interesting projects and skill development into the course that I think will be highly useful in the workplace going forward. Another course I'm working on developing is intercultural communication in the digital age, because of course, as we've seen in the pandemic, a huge amount of our communication is being done online, and not always, but there's a lot of writing involved in the online communication. But writing, whether it's written or oral, more and more our communication will be with people who are in all different parts of the world. They're communicating from different cultural contexts, and often we'll be communicating with people who, although they may be communicating with us in English, perhaps their cultural context is something very different. English might be their second language. And so our ability to be sensitive to cultural differences and to be able to be flexible and how we communicate with people to be effective will be important. And so that course will explore how you develop that kind of sensitivity and awareness and flexibility.
Thank you. And Professor Vester, would you like to share a little bit about your courses?
Hi there. I'm a sociologist by training, and I teach several courses that sort of have a theme of inequality. I teach health inequality, for example, that deals with issues of social determinants of health that have really been sort of raised to the fore as we've gone through this current pandemic. I teach, I'm actually currently developing a Brazilian society where we look at, and I actually sort of appreciate Brazil as an interesting mirror to look at inequality in our own society, because we actually have some interesting similarities between the two countries. I also teach the sociology of travel and tourism. I think it's interesting for us to sort of travel with a bit of forethought when I describe what the idea of sort of those who travel and those who are traveled upon, and sort of getting at inequality that's sort of endemic in tourism. And so those are just some of the courses that I look at, just to sort of look at themes of both inequality, but also resilience in terms of trying to deal with issues and solutions as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. So as I mentioned, we have a graduate program. So it's the Master of Liberal Arts. And this program is very interdisciplinary. It is very flexible in the sense that you can really structure the program around your interests. So through your study in this program, you're exposed to a range of reflections on the human experience from multiple academic perspectives. So we have courses in history, literature, philosophy, political science, and sociology. And you would also have access to all of the courses at the graduate level through the School of Liberal Arts at Tulane. So if there's something that you're interested in that's not offered through the MLA program at Sopa, you could take it through another department in the School of Liberal Arts. So this is highly individualized, as I mentioned. And as part of the program, you would take 10 courses. And that would include a capstone, which would be the last course that you would take in the program. If you're interested in a more formal thesis that you would like to develop, you can do that instead of the capstone. But you would basically have an option of doing either or. And then at the undergraduate level, we have two programs. We have a bachelor's in humanities and a bachelor's in social sciences. So students in the humanities program are studying complementary fields such as English literature, religious studies, linguistics, music, history, visual and performing arts, as well as philosophy. And the students in the social sciences are focusing on courses in anthropology, geography, Latin American studies, sociology, political science, and other related fields. As part of this academic experience, you would be taking 120 credits, 30 of which would be credits in your major. So the way that the majors are structured is that you would begin with at least 4 courses in at least 3 different academic areas. And then these courses will be at the introductory level. And then your last 6 courses would be at an upper level where you would then focus in areas that you have particular interests. So for example, if you're more interested in sociology, you might take several courses that explore topics in sociology. And then as your final course, you would participate in a capstone project, which would ideally bring all of this work together and prepare you for the next steps in your career. And because our degrees are so interdisciplinary, and because they allow you to develop a really strong foundation of skills and knowledge, they're really applicable to a wide variety of careers. So our graduates have moved on to careers in business, education, the arts, consulting, public relations, public policy, nonprofit management, and writing, among other fields. And then because I'm also the prior learning assessment coordinator, I will also tell you about this opportunity that we offer both our graduate and undergraduate students. And I will put in a caveat that there isn't, this is mostly for applied programs. So it is not impossible, but it's pretty difficult for MLA students to earn prior learning credit. But for the undergraduate students, you can earn up to 24 credits through portfolio assessment, standardized examinations such as CLEP exams and the SST exams, as well as military training. And you can earn credit for experience that you've had outside of the classrooms, including work experience as well, along with community service and military training. Graduate students can receive up to 6 credits from portfolio assessment. And if anybody's interested in learning more about portfolio assessment, reach out to me and we'll set up an appointment and I can tell you more about the process. And I think Dan is now going to talk about student success. Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, back to student support and success, what Vanessa was talking about earlier. The academic advisors, would, whether you're doing one of these programs at the undergraduate or graduate level or any of our other programs offered through the school, we're here to assist you every step of the way from prior to being admitted to the end in any capacity. We are there to help you around the clock, essentially. The expert faculty with industry experience, we have a couple of them in here already, and we have a lot more teachers in anthropology, sociology is Dr. Vester there, but just philosophy, other disciplines as well, that bring the experience directly to the classroom for our programs. A lot of them are our adjunct faculty, so in those programs, they can bring that kind of knowledge directly to the classroom firsthand, which is really great. Career advice, we have a career advisor who teaches her own class as well. That's become a kind of popular class, a career success strategies class that students can take as an elective credit, whether they want to take that in the beginning of their academic career, but a lot of times it's people have some electives left at the end of their degree, which is best. And then they tend to take that class to kind of, learn career success strategies, resume writing, all those kinds of things are covered in that class. And then in addition to you don't have to take her class to get the career advice, but she is also available around the clock like the advisors are. So if you want to discuss careers, if you do need help with touching up your resume and normalizing it to today's standards, or something like that, and cover letters, taking those career assessment type things, and she's really good with kind of feeling out what you're looking to do, and then give you the resources and provide the assistance that you'll need for that. And then again, her classes becoming a popular class that is also very helpful in the long run. And when you become a graduate of Tulane, then you are part of the alumni program forever. And that is a good group of peers and to be a part of for networking purposes, among other things. And back to the faculty too, and being in the classes, it offers a lot of good networking opportunities as well, because we have all these non-traditional students from all different backgrounds and all different career areas and paths, so it's a good way to network. I've had students hired by their teachers' companies because they were posting, saying, hey, we have an opening here. Do I have any, IT people, or do I have any, Homeland Security experience, or, type people like that. And so it's a good way to network at the school because of the diverse student population and the faculty being, directly in that field and bringing that to the classroom. So. The next slide, application process, pretty straightforward. You would complete the application online. If you're doing a graduate program application, there's an additional essay personal statement that you have to write up. The application fees are listed there, but when you apply, those will be waived for you. You'll be noted as having attended this webinar, so that fee will automatically be removed when your application is being processed. Let me decline this call from the main office real quick. And they're going to need you to upload your government ID, or like a driver's license to identify you, basically. Not a military ID if you're active duty, because I don't think you're supposed to upload those. And then if you attended prior colleges, you're going to have to request official transcripts be sent directly from your prior institution to us. If a lot of schools do electronic transcripts now, which is great and easy, and it's actually quick because you don't have to go through the whole snail mail process. So that's, a real easy way to get your transcripts requested and submitted from institution to institution. If you don't have any prior college, then the school's going to need to see some kind of high school equivalency, whether your diploma, the final high school report card showing you graduated, or like GED results or something equivalent to a high school degree. And pretty much the application will then process, and then you'll be notified when transcripts are received and you're admitted and all that good stuff. So it's pretty easy, straightforward. And then last thing on the application, this is only pertaining to graduate students, but there is no GRE entrance exam required for the graduate program. And in addition to application deadlines, we have those about a month out almost prior to the actual semester starting, so that there's enough time to get matriculated and registered and all that good stuff. The summer semester, for example, if you're planning to come in then, it starts May 24th. So you would need to have your application submitted by then. If the transcripts trickle in a few days after that, that's fine. That's still plenty of time to process everything, get you admitted, matriculated, and then, so your account's set up so you can begin registering for classes. The fall deadline is August 1st. The semester starts the 23rd, I think. And then spring deadline is January 1st. The spring semester usually starts the week of Martin Luther King Day. And for each of those, we have an early enrollment scholarship. So when you're admitted and you sign up for classes by those dates listed there and pay for them, then you'll get a early enrollment scholarship of $200, and graduate students can receive that one time for $500, excuse me. Yeah. And affordability, as far as tuition costs are concerned, for four-year schools, for a four-year school offering bachelor's degrees, we have very competitive tuition rate compared to other schools. For summer, it's going to be $524 per credit hour. And for fall, it goes up to around $576. Graduate is a little more always. That's just over $1,078 for summer. In the fall, it'll be up to $1,119 per credit hour. We have good rates because we don't charge several other fees in addition to the tuition costs. A lot of schools will have tuition costs, and then they'll have a fee for every little thing. And then you have hundreds and hundreds of dollars of fees per class, but we don't do that. There's minimal fees for technology accessing fees and certain programs that you major in. I don't think for humanities and social science, there's any additional fees for those particular classes. Financial aid options are available for our students. That would all go through the financial aid office. That you will be assigned an actual financial aid advisor. So that is something I would not be your advisor for, because that is all handled separately by the Office of Financial Aid. If you have questions about financial aid, or you want to look into it, or if you or maybe you already have, but the website is financialaid.tulane.edu, and there's a Sopa box at the top of that page for current and prospective students that you will be able to find out more information about the process, you know, doing the FAFSA and everything else that, you know, relates and pertains to financial aid. And you can meet your financial aid counselor when you're admitted as well. It's based on last name essentially. So you just pull up that info, click on it. They have their email address there, and then you get the ball rolling on that. Once you have that all set up, you know, then you're good to go. If you're needing financial assistance, there's several different kinds of financial aid. Obviously, they have grants, they have loans. There's a yellow ribbon program for active duty, I believe it is. We also have 20% tuition discounts for certain students with that are active duty or veterans, and also retired public safety personnel. And the scholarship is that we have, among others, is a minority serving institution scholarship. And another way to save money on completing your degree, as Dalila mentioned earlier, is the credit for prior learning program. You can earn up to 6 to 24 credit hours for that, depending on you know, the program you're in, undergraduate versus graduate. So there's a couple of different options in addition to the portfolio assessment. If you were prior military, or if you're a police officer, fire department, anything like that, then there's some ways to get some credit that way as well. All right, so what we got? That's it. All right, I'll send it back to Dalila there.
Thanks so much, Dan. We'll open it up for questions right now. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Either unmute yourself and pose a question, or you can write it in chat as well.
And after this, if you're thinking about applying and have any other questions, you know, you can just reach out. There's a place where you can submit questions through the website, or you can reach out to Dalila directly, and we're always happy to, if something comes up later that you'd like answered. We're always happy to help.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys joining us. If you are in New Orleans, be safe with this crazy weather. And we hope to see you in class either virtually or in person someday soon. Thanks, everybody.